In today's video, we will be taking an unboxing and an overview of the Montech Air 100 Lite. So this is a micro ATX case. It has the standard sort of features that we're looking for in a PC flip case, which is the tempered glass at the side window, as well as the PSU shroud, and unfortunately it doesn't actually have the ARGB fans, but we brought this for a very, very cheap price, and we can obviously add those ARGB fans when we do the build, obviously. So that's not bad. So we actually paid only £30 for this case, which was actually on a very good offer by Scan round about Christmas time. We just haven't got round to the video, actually recording the video round Christmas time, but obviously the offer's gone now, which is obviously a shame. But yeah, this was on a special offer at Scan for £30, and I thought, okay, it hasn't got the ARGB fans, but we may as well give it a go, because we can always put the ARGB fans in to make it more like a flip build, and it has got everything else that we need. So yeah, now it does come with two fans, admittedly. It does come with the two fans, the one at the front and the one at the back, but they are only standard 120mm fans with no ARGB, or no RGB at all. But overall, I do think this case looks like a decent case for a flip build, and I think really without further ado, let's get into it. And so here it is, guys, and what do you think? We got the white edition, as you can see. I think quite a pretty little looking case here. As I said, micro ATX. Got this nice front here with the perforated mesh. It's actually got a swing out door as well, which is actually really nice for the tempered glass. And you know, PSU shroud, fully blocked off PSU shroud, which is good as well. And yeah, looking pretty decent case. So what we'll do is a little bit quicker version of what I've done before with taking a look at the PC case. I'll probably go over it a little bit quicker than I usually do, hopefully, because I want to try and cut down these videos, because I think half an hour spent on these videos is a bit too much. So let's try and go for a little bit shorter one. Let's try and aim for let's try and say about 20 minutes. We'll try and get this video to, but we'll see what happens. So as always, I'll start with the front, go to the top, the sort of rear I/O panel, the underside of the case, and obviously the back panel, and then obviously the front side panel. So first of all, at the front, pretty much perforated mesh here at the front, which is quite nice. It's got support for 3 120mm fans or 2 140mm fans. And the support for the front radiators is up to a 280mm radiator. So that's a 2 by 140mm one. So those 360mm radiators are out, unfortunately. But, you know, you can get a 240 or a 280 in there. So perfectly fine, I think, for most people. Again, this is a budget sort of case, aimed more at the budget builder. So personally, I think that's fine. Again, people aren't gonna. Most budget builders aren't gonna put a big 360 radiator at the front of their case, are they? So I think that's fine. And it does come with a one pre-installed fan here, which is non-ARGB, as I said before. So you know, you could even just use this case without putting the additional ARGB fans in, but obviously because we're PC flipping, we will add them. Now, admittedly, I only brought this because it was £30, so it was a bargain. But otherwise, I think they actually did have the ARGB version. I think it was about £45 with the ARGB, the 4 ARGB fans and the the ARGB fan hub as well. But I thought this was just better sort of value getting this for 30. And then on top, pretty standard here. I do like how all the I/O here at the side is actually integrated into the side, so all your cables will go down the side of the case rather than having them across here, and then the cables kind of go across, and you can see them in the main chamber of the case. So I don't like that, but I like how they're done here. This is far better. Now obviously the two USB 3 ports are fine, but we do only get one USB 2 port, which now I don't really mind that there's USB 2 port as well, and at least there is two USB 3 ports, which is good, but I think just stick with the two USB 3 ports. But anyway, everything else is all there, big clicky power button and everything. And then on the top here we have support for, I believe, so we have two 120mm fan support or two 140mm fan supports, and you can fit up to a 240mm radiator here. So the 280s are actually out of action here. You won't officially support them anyway. Potentially you might be able to, but they're not officially supported. So up to 240 on the top. But again, I think so many people are going to be using air cooling here to actually cool everything rather than the radiators or water cooling. So I don't really see that being an issue with this sort of case. And then pretty much standard at the rear again, we get the 120mm rear fan, which is standard, and that is actually pre-installed. Again, it's only the non-RGB one, just like a plain one, but it's fine. It is white as well, so there is that. Standard I/O cutout, and then we have the four PCI blanking plates. I believe these are one-time snap-off ones, but so yeah, they're the one-time snap-off ones, unfortunately. So obviously they're not going to be reusable, but not too bad really. And then we have support for the PSU. I think can either go up or can go down. Potentially you could put the PSU fan up, but I think again just install it down. It's far more conventional, and personally it's what I prefer. And on the underside of the case, pretty much standard as you kind of expect. Some really nice feet here with actually rubber support here at the bottom of them, so you won't rub on your desk, which is really nice. One of those really annoying dust filters to kind of get out and what have you, but it's not one of those slide out ones, but they're okay. On the PSU shroud there, it's fine. And then we do have those screws there, so if you want to take out the hard drive cage, you can. Pretty much not much to say there really. So as always with these videos, as I've kind of always gone and sort of said in these type of videos that I've had, it's all about the cable management on these budget cases, isn't it? This is the Montech Air 100 Lite, so let's see what it's like. And yeah, from first impressions, really good. I mean, that's really spacious. I don't know whether that's going to come out fully on the camera there, and hopefully it will. But yeah, that looks plenty of space to me. I mean, yeah, I can clearly get, there's miles of space there. I mean, I reckon there's probably at least, 2.5 millimeters, or 2.5 centimeters, or 250 millimeters there. Maybe even getting towards the 300 millimeters or the 3 centimeters of space there. So I certainly think you've got an inch of space behind the motherboard tray. So that looks all good there. We do have support here for 2 SSDs if you do want to mount your SSDs on the back. I mean, personally, I don't like putting SSDs there. I prefer putting them down here, but each to their own. If you maybe if you have a lot of SSDs, this might be handy as well. Pretty much for the cables here, again, pretty standard. We do have those 4 sort of fiddly power switch cables and reset switch cables and all that sort of stuff. So that is what it is. Again, I don't like all this kind of ketchup and mustard on these cables, but it is what it is. That's the USB 2 cable. That's the HD audio one, which you get lots of ketchup and mustard and different colours on that one, but that's fine. You're not going to see that at the bottom of the motherboard. You're not going to see that too much, so that's fine. And then obviously the USB 3 connector there as well, so for the USB 3 ports, and that's just a fan. That's just a 3-pin. The 2 fans are 3-pin fans, by the way, so you haven't got that 4-pin PWM support as well, so just something to bear in mind. Lovely bit of cable management space here, so tie down Velcro straps, which are really, really nice to see. I mean, that just makes the whole build just look really nice. We've actually got rubber grommets behind here as well, so when you're putting your like big 24 pin cable in and everything like that, it will kind of hide between the grommets. So I really like that. Again, these are just little touches that Montech are actually a very good budget PC case manufacturer, I think, and they do think about these little things, and they do add these little things in. And I do think for £30 is an absolute bargain of a case. I mean, obviously, again, unfortunately, that offer isn't on at the moment, although it might potentially come back again one time. But I do think this is an absolute bargain of a case for how much room we get, and the space that we get, and the price was just exceptional. So at the bottom here, we have our hard drive. We have like a hard drive caddy. Again, this can be removed. This is actually only takes one screw at here, and then you can move it. I believe you can actually move it to different positions. Yeah, you can. You can move it to different positions, either like the furthest at the front, or you can move it a little bit back. Why you want to do that, I'm not sure. Maybe if you're putting a radiator at the front, you might want to do that. But otherwise, I would just leave it where it is, or I would just, if anything, I'd probably just take it out. But again, that's up to you. You can fit SSD on the top of this hard drive tray. So yeah, you can either get two 3.5-inch drives in at the bottom here, as well as the two SSDs here, or you can put one SSD with the one hard drive here, and then obviously you've got space for your two SSDs there as well. So we get some cable ties. You've even got a speaker there, so you can put in your speaker, debug your motherboard and what have you. And just a decent arrangement of screws there, so nice that they've put a couple of cable ties in and what have you as well. So that's nice, and that's just a standard bracket there, which you can actually put in a SSD on as well as a hard drive. Yeah, I think that pretty much does it for the back. I think that's everything that we've kind of explained. Plenty of cable management space, which is a real positive here, so that's really good. If you want to put in your own ARGB controller as well, you've got plenty of space here. There's plenty of space between the where the PSU is going to sit up to the hard drive cage as well, so it's really roomy actually for what you get. That's really good. So I might as well just show you with it up like this. So it just pulls out like that, and it comes over to there, and then you can literally just take it off as so, like that. Fairly weighty tempered glass actually there, so that's not bad. Not the most weighty that I have had, but that's not too bad really. Okay, so this is where we get the mesh for the top here. So we do actually get a mesh filter at the top. It actually comes in this bag, which I don't know why they've done it like this, but maybe that's Montech. Maybe that could have got lost, I guess, if you would have had that at the top. So that's maybe why they do it in this bag. So there's the manual, and yeah, pretty much goes over all the things and what have you. So nice to have that, especially for first-time builders. They can see everything that they need to do for the case. So that's all good. I think this just goes up like that. Yep, it just sits on top. And as you can see, I think we've got quite a nice little inside here for the case. So obviously that's our back fan, and this is our front fan here. Generally I'd say quite roomy, especially for a Micro ATX case. Like I said, has got branding on the PSU shroud, and it's good to see that the PSU shroud is fully blocked off with it hasn't got one of those funny PSU windows, which I really hate, so that's good. Some people might not like the Montech branding here being so big, but again, it's not that bad, I think, and if you really wanted to, you could actually just cover that up if you really wanted to, but I think it's fine. At the top here, there is actually a fair amount of space before you actually hit the motherboard area. So certainly if you were putting radiators at the top, I think you would have enough clearance there before you hit your RAM. So I think you should be fine. Certainly with a 240 radiator, you should be fine there if you did want to do that. We have the standard motherboard sort of setup for a Micro ATX board, although if you've got a Micro ATX board that's maybe a little bit more bigger, you can use the additional standoffs in the actual pack of screws here, so that's fine as well. But I think for most people, those six screws, those six standoffs are probably going to be enough, or you could always move them if you need to. So that's fine. Like I said, ITX or micro ATX support here. No ATX support, so if you've got an ATX motherboard, you will have to look elsewhere for your case. Before the rubber grommets here, really nice, and also they're right out towards this side, so if you do have one of those larger motherboards, you'll be fine to actually run your cables across. It's not like the rubber grommets are here, and then if you've got a bigger motherboard, they actually you won't be able to get the cables around, so that's fine. I like how that's set up there. Big CPU bracket here behind the motherboard tray, so big cutout for the CPU cooler. That's really nice to see, so plenty of room there if you are swapping out your CPU coolers and what have you, so that's really good. We do have one of those GPU sort of holes where you'll feed your PCIe cables through for your graphics card. So that's really nice to have a dedicated hole there to feed that through, because having to like feed it through at the side here just doesn't look that great, and I've kind of done that with more cheaper builds as well, and it's fine, it gets the job done, but it's nice to actually have one right there so you can do that. There's 3 holes here at the bottom here as well for all those little tiny cables like your HD audio and USB 2, and obviously those fiddly power switch cables and reset switch cables and what have you, so that's really nice there. So the CPU cooler support is a maximum of 161 centimeters, which is actually really good. So any of those sort of Thermalright tower coolers, they're usually about 155 centimeters, so that's really good. So you'll have 155 millimeters, sorry. So and you've got 161 millimeters of support. So yeah, you will have plenty of room for a tower cooler, which is really nice here. And then the GPU support is 330 millimeters or 33 centimeters or the 13 inches. So that's actually plenty of support here for even those big RTX 40 series cards. So really, really good support here from this case. It's actually very roomy. It's not particularly big, but it is actually very, very roomy, and I really like that. And I do really like this white colour. Everything, you know, it looks really good, and we'll be putting a big. We've got an AM4 build planned for this one. We've got a big one of those Thermalright coolers as well. With it's a white one, and it has the white ARGB fan in as well. And then we'll add the 3 Thermalright ARGB fans at the front, and then we'll have the one on the CPU cooler. And that build will look really, really cool. And that's actually with a GTX 1660 PC that we're going to put together with the Ryzen 3 3100. So that will actually be really good, that system. And really looking forward to doing that build, because I think that's going to be quite a nice build. And that's going to be kind of one of my more showstopper sort of builds, because, you know, really I kind of on this channel do very, very low budget builds. So even though that is still a low budget build, it's kind of a little bit nicer to have a little bit more of a premium one and spend a little bit more money and you know, just to have a little bit of a better build and better, more modern components. So that's nice. But yeah, overall, I really do think this case is actually looking like a really good potential for a PC flip, or even if this is your own PC for your own build. I think this is really good. I think it looks really nice. Again, the looks of it's great. I do like the swing out door for the tempered glass side panel. That's a really nice feature, because having those 4 screws and taking them off and what have you, it's a bit old school and not particularly nice, but the swing out door is quite modern and nice, I think, and it works a lot better, so I like that. So I don't accidentally drop it or something and obviously smash it. That's not going to be good. Really, you should have this facing down. You should have the case facing down and then put it on. But you can kind of just about get away with sliding it on like that. And it does actually have a big slide out area. You can get it all the way out if you really wanted to. But I think for your build, obviously, you know, get it out of the way, I would say. The only thing I would say is that the magnet is a little bit weak. So you could accidentally swing that open if you're not careful with your PC case. That's my only kind of gripe with the... Okay, never mind. It doesn't actually lock. So I think that is a bit of a... That could be a little bit of a downside, because if you're not careful, that could swing right out, and I don't think there's any way to actually lock that down, so that's a bit of a disappointment. But anyway, But yeah, overall, I do think this is a really nice case, and I do like the front. There we go. See how that came out very, very easily there. So yeah, a bit worrying. But yeah, I do really like the mesh front here. That's kind of very modern and the kind of look that we're going for sort of modern PCs and modern PC flips. And as I said, the amount of room at the back here is really, really impressive, and that's really, really good to see so much cable management space. So you'll easily be able to do a really nice job on this. So very, very good Montech. I think overall, from what I can tell, this looks like a really, really good case. So really looking forward to actually building this soon. So obviously, please like this video and please subscribe to see the future PC build in this case. Be a nice AM4 build, so a little bit more premium than we usually do. And please comment on what you think of this case, and do you like it? You know, what do you think about it and what have you, and let me know if you've got any other comments and suggestions on my videos, obviously. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.